Welcome to the Funky Intellect Podcast, where I explore life topics through ridiculousness and real talk. Join me every week for conversations that make you think and music suggestions that make you move. Welcome back to another episode of the Funky Intellect. This is your girl, Joy Lynn, and we are coming off the heels of Valentine's Day. Usually I do like a little check-in, tell you how I'm feeling, what's been going on. But we're going to get straight to it on this particular episode because it's Valentine's Day. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of playlists that either put you in the mood or just let you, you know what I'm saying, let you be bitter and sit in your feelings, okay? So make sure y'all go to Spotify to check out my Valentine's Day playlist. Search Oh How Joyous and everything will pull up for you. The official song for this episode is Keisha Cole, I Should Have Cheated. I wanted to make sure we absolutely set the tone, and let's get right into it. I have a good friend who hosts multiple events at her house, right? She's going to be the friend that says, hey, come over. It's always a good time. We're going to celebrate everything, okay? Probably, maybe not everything. Like, we wouldn't celebrate a President's Day or something like that because why? But we're going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, Pride, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I mean, all of the things. So that's just what we do. I get a text message. It's an invitation. What is it for? A Valentine's Day party. Let's rock, baby. So last week was Valentine's Day, and I went to my friend's house for the weekend, and we chilled. We drank. We ate. We had fellowship. Her mom and her aunts and her grandmother were there. Young folk in the building, and then it was us, the older millennials doing whatever we're doing. So we're listening to music, we're painting, writing affirmations, all of the things just to kind of chill and enjoy ourselves. So after the older folk clear out, we throw on some music. Well, some music with a little bit of cussing in it, not much, very, very light. Okay, maybe a little explicit, but very light. Okay, there was no Pop Smoke, there was no Gunna, there was no Future, nothing like that, right? So, we throw on some music, we chill and have a good time, drinking, etc. And a friend and I get to talking about music. I'm gonna call this friend Christina because she has a really standard name. Y'all know how there's Nicole's and Stephanie's and all of the names that are kind of common, but everybody spells them a little different. She's got one of those names, but for the sake of this story, it's gonna be Christina. Okay, so me and Christina are talking, and I'm saying, oh, have you heard of Lion Babe? Now, it really got started because I said Andra Day. Now, this is very disrespectful, but we're going to go with it anyway. Andra Day, Alice Smith, Lion Babe, and Kirby. Sometimes in my mind, they're all the same person. I know that's incorrect. Y'all don't have to talk about me. I know that's wrong. And I know they all sound kind of different. But I think it's the light skin singing with substance that gets me sometimes. But I'm an individual fan of each artist based on, what they give. So anyway, that's how the conversation got started. Moving on. I said to Christina, you know Lion Babe? She was like, nah, I don't. And it all started with a text. She said, text me that. I said, okay, bet. I pull out my phone. Backstory on how I use my phone. It's a loose. Look, I ain't paying real attention on some stuff, right? Like, I'm a glance at one thing, and then I might not get the whole story. I got to stop doing that. But anyway, I found Christina, sent it, boom, we done. I move on, and it turns into me getting a text message from an unknown number an hour later. It says, "Stop texting my wife, bitch." And I was like, oh my God, is this for me? Immediately I look at Christina and say, girl, did you get that text I sent you? She's a couple of Hennessy shots in by now. She said, let me check. Nah, I didn't get it. And instantly I knew I texted the wrong Christina. But the thing about it is, who did I text? I don't know the Christina that's saved in my phone. That turned into a whole nother story. Immediately, I hop up, show them the text I just got, and we all begin to cackle because immediately my friend looks at me. Well, a different friend there goes, man, you really just be minding your business. I said, yeah, I be minding my business and stuff comes to me. So here we are, Joy minding her business, and stop texting my wife comes through the phone. So then I spring into action because we got to figure out who it is. So I text back and I say, hey girl, now I don't know you, but I also realize I must have texted the wrong person. Who are you? I'm definitely going to delete your numbers, but I also need to know who not to speak to in person. Because if y'all got issues like this, you can't be trusted, okay, in the public either. So I was like, okay, cool. Who are you? She didn't like that. So she followed up with, you playing, you just text my wife lying, babe. So I was like, okay, well, that confirms it. I mean, that confirms it. It was me texting the wrong person saved in my phone. So, I mean, I do what every normal person would do. I start to send screenshots because we got to find out. So screenshot the people I know that have a social life. Whose number is this? I'm trying to figure out what Christina this is in my phone to who is this? So I text the lesbians I know that have a social life, okay? People are like, I don't have that number. I don't have that number. One person said, I got the same number saved in my phone. What? Okay, who is it, girl? There's no last name attached. That was both our problems. Neither one of us had the last name attached to the Christina, right? So I text the wife, the disgruntled wife, back and say, you know what? I'm definitely going to delete the number. It was an accidental text. You know what? Let me just give y'all exactly what I text back. I mean, because I'm on the internet talking about it. I might as well just go on and hold on. I said, I text the person named Christina, meaning to text another Christina. So evidently I got my numbers wrong. So now with that said, I'm definitely going to delete the number, but also, I just wanted to know who not to speak to in person, but it's fine. Then I also said, because I'm a tad petty, I also said, imagine me texting an artist to the wrong person and getting this, ha ha ha. That is what I text. Okay, so at that point, I put my phone down and I leave my homegirl's house. It was late. I got to go home. Okay, people got stuff to do. On my drive home, the friend that had the number saved, we're chit-chatting and we can't figure it out. She's sending me all of the Christinas that she knows in her phone that she thinks would have a reasonable level of drama. Don't judge us. If we've seen drama on the internet or heard drama about you before, we kind of bunch you in the same group. And so she was sending me screenshots and I was like, no, don't know them. A disclaimer, a little background that you need to know. I used to host big events in my city for lesbians. My telephone has a lot of numbers of random people, whatever. You need to know where the venue is. You need to know what the dress code is. You need to know if I got an extra ticket. You need to know the need to knows. Okay. So I have a lot of numbers in my phone of people that I actually don't know. For those that are wondering, like, now why in the world this lady got her number saved without no last name and she don't know? Because years ago I lived another life. Anyway, so my homegirls trying to figure out what Christina she know that could possibly have drama. I I three-way in my other friend, give her an update, and so she's doing the same thing. Okay, we're going through it. We're going through it, trying to find it, cackling. We've also attempted to figure out, is this a stud or a femme messaging me about their wife, because I only date femmes, but the text message was giving aggression, could be a stud. So finally, the friend that's a Scorpio, she said, hold on real quick, I'm about to use Zelle. I was like, perfect. You hear a scream on the other end of the phone, the drama. And then you hear wheezing, like laughing hysterically. And this lady on the other end of the phone laughing. I yell, pull it together and tell us who it is, okay? What Christina is it? We finally get down to the bottom of it. She tells me the first and last name. Obviously, I don't know it because I don't be knowing, okay? She sends me a screenshot of the person's face. I also don't know it. Then we find the wife. Also, I don't know, okay, girl? I don't know. And then, long story short, I don't know them. Now, the other friend that was on the phone, she goes, oh, I know her. And it seems like from the people that they hang around, they all would have drama. I said, they whole friend group got a questionable reputation. I said, okay then, well, it makes sense then that I got that message, and I had, I feel like I had been victimized. So we cackled for a little bit longer, segued into other topics. But at the end of the day, I didn't know that lady. After the ordeal was over, I really came away with some takeaways. Actually, I thought this in the middle of the whole situation. I was like, is this what people are living through in relationships? And it's one thing to see it on TV, hear people talk about it. I don't necessarily know if I've had any close friends deal with some weird stuff like this. I'm sure, maybe they have, they just didn't tell me. I don't know. But I was just thinking, man, is this what people go through when you're jealous and mistrusting? People want passwords to folks' phone, which I personally feel like you should have. It ain't nothing in there to see. Okay, it said pictures of the dog, But I was just thinking, is this what people go through? And of course, I had to talk about it. Let's talk about how small things can help your relationship and can help you so that you won't overreact to something as simple as a text message. So basically, I guess it's talking about lying, cheating, self-worth, all of the things. But don't worry, I won't ramble. I actually wrote it down, and there's a feature article on gotffmag.com, my homegirl's blog. Go to TFF Mag. I actually wrote it up to try to give you guys something you can lean on, because I don't want people to be living like this. It seems very ridiculous. Stop texting my wife. What? Anyway, so my takeaway from this situation, it was varied. Between the laughter and just the shock and awe of this stupidness, it was varied. I thought all types of stuff. So I'm going to go through with a couple of things that really stood out and I think that people could benefit from. Number one, when you see the red flag, you got to get up out of there. I don't know what people be waiting for. I think we've all seen a red flag in somebody. I don't know if folks are waiting for their vision to clear and they're like, that's not a red flag. That's actually orange. Insert bombastic side eye. It's red. It's red. Girl, you got to get out of there. Brother, you got to get out of there. The juice ain't worth the squeeze. For sure. And for sure, it ain't gonna be worth it, because whatever that red flag is, it's gonna get brighter and brighter and brighter. Okay, I don't know, and maybe we don't know how to identify the red flags. Let me go into that. Identifying a red flag. Red flags are something you feel uneasy about, and when you look at whatever that uneasiness is, it's a problem at the end of the road, right? Like, it's not uneasy like, oh, I've never ridden this ride at Disney before, I feel uneasy about this roller coaster. It's not like that. You probably just nervous. It's gonna be a big drop. Okay, just hang on tight. A red flag, you looking at it side eye like, that shouldn't be like that. That's not right. You know that's not right. Listen to your gut. There are a lot of red flags. Okay, people have them. People got red flags, green flags, yellow ones. The yellow ones people can possibly work on. But let me give you a little tidbit about the yellow ones. They got to already be working on that yellow flag. And they also have to be aware that's a thing. If they not already working on the yellow, don't think that they gonna work on the yellow for you. You can also kind of start removing yourself and not getting as invested. But straight up with a red flag, y'all, leave. That lady, she didn't text me out of nowhere. In her mind, something had to have happened for her to text me immediately, instead of saying wrong number or even being in that lady's phone. It didn't come out of nowhere. So my question is, like, what's been happening in their relationship to where, dang, you just like straight up triggered. You just straight up triggered and you went with aggression off top. Speaking of aggression, that's my number 2. We got to stop being aggressive. It's making us look crazy sometimes. You can, as a kid, say, stand on business. That makes me laugh. Because every time I hear somebody say stand on business, I see the sign language dude on TikTok do the stand on business sign. And it's just so good to me. Anyway, you can handle your business and be assertive without being aggressive and wrong. Now, after careful research, we did find out that the lady that texted me was a stud. Cool, no problem. What I have found is, and this is probably a whole nother podcast topic, sometimes our masculine presenting people decide to take the most toxic version of masculinity and run with it. I don't like that. And also, it doesn't necessarily shed a great light on you, because, yeah, you look crazy, but it also makes you look hurt, or it just exposes the hurt. I'm a humanitarian in a way. I don't want nobody to be hurt. I want everybody to be able to live in their space with their feelings authentically, etc., etc. Her texting me that instantly, I was like, dang, she is mad. And whatever happened in her past still got her riled up. We got to chill. I don't know if we got to count to 3. She really should have just went and asked her wife, like, girl, what's going on? I mean, anybody I would have been dating, well, one, I probably wouldn't have had their phone, but I guess on the off chance that I did, I would have just said, hey, somebody text you lying, babe. I don't think that makes me naive. I think that just means I feel like I chose well and I trust my person and I can just ask them about things, right? The aggression that young lady has or had is not normal. We gotta chill. That message stemmed from a place of distrust and hurt, and those things should be worked out in therapy. I personally think that therapy is not an option for many people. It's for real a necessity. It's a necessity and a luxury all at the same time. However, It's got to be priority. Find it how you can find it. I mean, listen to podcasts, group therapy sessions, books, or go on and, pay it out of pocket. I don't know. But at some point, you have to work through the past hurt, not just for the relationship that you're in, for you. Because that type of stuff, child, it'll turn into some health issues. It'll have you looking stupid. Like, you don't need to stroke out or, I don't know, carry around anxiety because you don't trust the partner you're with. If you don't trust them, circle back around to the top and leave them. You got to get up out of there. If you don't trust them, leave them. If you know it's not going to work. That's rough advice, but I mean, somebody got to give it. Somebody got to call bullshit and be like, man, if it's never going to work and it's going to be like this, you deserve the green flags. You deserve to not have angst. Just leave. But you might not be able to figure that out unless you go to therapy, because you might have a friend that's told you leave them. You might not. You need an unbiased person. You need some tools to help you, I don't know, loose the aggression from your life. I don't know. But, man, go to therapy and drag your boo into therapy once you get it done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I recommend individual and then double down on some relationship stuff. Maybe y'all can say the relationship. But either way, people walking around hurt like that, I just feel like it's super sad and unnecessary. Like, there's so many things to be stressed out about and have anxiety about in society, in the world. Girl, a text message should not be one of them. So I want everybody to pay attention to their triggers. What's happening? What is happening? What are your triggers? How do you feel when something happens? And if you know you're triggered, say something out loud when it's a good time in a safe space with the person that can help you work through it. I think that's also a thing. She could have been triggered by that text, but she could have also asked the wife. Now, plot twist, I will say this. What if, now I didn't write about this plot twist. Y'all just gonna get it on the podcast. What if the Christina that I text had my number saved and just knows me and hated my guts and was like, wifey, get on her. Cuss her out. That would be wild. I thought of various ways this could have played out on the other end. Imagine being that Christina and your wife looks at your phone. Who is lying, babe? That Christina's looking like, girl, I don't know. It's an unknown number that texts me. And then her wife is like, you're lying. You're lying to me. I'm finna cuss this hoe out. What if that happened too? What if what? It's a lot of ways this could have went. But anyway, back to it. Yeah, go to therapy. Go to therapy. My more ridiculous takeaways, but still helpful, are the following. We got to clean out our addresses and our contact list in our phone. We got to do it. I'm talking to myself at this point, and you. Add last names. Add details as needed to who people are, especially if you're a social person. I've gotten much better at this recently, maybe like the past 2 or 3 years, but I used to host events. I have somebody's name in my phone saved as Random Girl DD. Why would I save that lady's Why would I say that lady's name as Random Girl DD in my phone? Why? That's not smart. So I'm talking to everybody. First, last names in a little detail go a long way. And also, just go through and delete the people you don't know right now. If you ain't text them in the past 2 years and, and they not a family member that you need or something, just go on and delete it. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. The lesbian web of connectivity is so strong. I text, let me see, between 5 people, we figured out who this was. And 2 people knew absolutely who they were. The way I feel like we rallied the troops in a span of 3 hours, okay, and used our resources and pulled it together to figure out who in the world this could be, because we're all mildly nosy and also information is king. We figured that joint out. Don't ever underestimate the power of the lesbian web. I know we say everybody know everybody, but baby, okay, with the power of the internet, on top of that, we're unstoppable. Last thing, and this is actually on a serious note, how you respond to things is a reflection of yourself and your partner. Don't embarrass yourself by overreacting. It's not it. And I would never think that we would have to sit here and talk about me being accused of being the other woman, all from a text. But here we are. Y'all do better. If you're in a bad relationship, go on and leave. It's plenty of fishing to see. It's better than looking stupid out here. Okay? So from me to you, get it together. Okay? So I'm signing out as the other woman today. Please check out the playlist on Spotify. Rate the podcast, and find me on all the other social media platforms. It's your girl. Holla. As usual, don't forget to check out this episode's playlist on Spotify or YouTube by clicking the link in the bio.